And joining me tonight to answer some of those questions which frankly affect all of us, because now I'm really getting worried whether the Gmail account that I have on my phone, who knows, maybe that account may well have been hacked as well. Maybe my guest can help me figuring that out. Here in my studios, Rajesh Sharia, he is the president of the ISPAI. Karnika Seth, well-known lawyer in cyber law. She deals specifically in this area. Amit Dubey, he's a national cybersecurity expert. And Kushan Mitra, he's the managing editor, new projects and digital of The Pioneer. Welcome to all of you on the program. Rajesh, let me just begin with you. And let me just put this question to you. I know that hacking is a very common activity. We keep hearing about this. On this very program, we have invited hackers in the past. But the scale of hacking that we're now talking about, where 6.5 lakh passwords, accounts have been hacked. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
When you have entered into the internet media, you will have to face a lot of things. And till date, what is the Indian mentality of chalta hai or kaam chalao is not working. You have to be very secured in all the way. I will not say that it is a very issue of not a panic, it is an issue of panic, but we have to take care of our uses when we are using these devices.
We need to be careful of that.
Very careful.
Okay, I'll come to how we can be careful when it comes to usage of smart devices in a moment. But let me just come to Kushan Mitra. You know, because Kushan, my fear actually is that we are now living in a time where by the end of next year, according to various estimates, India is going to have the world's largest population of internet users. We now have a Prime Minister like Mr. Modi who is very bullish on the usage of technology. I mean, I've seen him so many times move around with his iPad. But do you believe, Kushan, that the government, while being very, very serious in terms of bringing technology in governance-related issues, is the government also serious, or is it even aware of the kind of challenges which exist when it comes to cybersecurity? Let's say a very common understanding, a layman's understanding of cybersecurity. As Kushan was pointing out, please change your password. So if I have a Gmail account or a Hotmail account or a Yahoo account or whatever, please change your password. Does the entire concept of cybersecurity, does it begin and end with changing of your password?
No, it's not limited to password. Actually, it also explore your entire personality on social media. When you are using a Facebook, you are sharing so much personal content. People know what do you like, what you don't like. And they can hack your accounts very easily. Because it helps them to do phishing. It helps them to send you Trojans.
Are you saying that it's easier for people to hack into Facebook accounts?
It's easier. If you are using Facebook, it's very, very easy. And what the word they have used, social engineering. The social engineering becomes automatic when you are using a Facebook and I know what you like and dislike. I'll keep showing you the contents which you are lured to be clicked.
So now, you know, I just want my viewers to be very clear. And that's a very important point that you're flagging off here. Are you saying that on the basis of the kind of content which is put up on Facebook, it is possible for a hacker or any individual to guess my password or whatever security firewall I may have created on the basis of the kind of information that I've already put up on Facebook?
Exactly. And Mr. Chaube, I had a very good discussion on the same topic, crime investigation through social media analytics. Now, it sounds very new topic, but it is happening. For every 40 minutes, we are getting Facebook crimes in Newark Police Department. In India also, I have helped Police Department to solve many crime cases through Facebook analysis. So when people are using Facebook to do crime, there are other way around also that people are using Facebook to hack you, to breach your personal security or to compromise your system.
So Karnika, where does the problem lie? Is it just that we don't understand what cybersecurity is all about, or
my Android phone? And I had to sign in with my Google account again. So Google actually sends me an SMS to the number that I have registered with Google. And nobody else can change that number. And this is what is called two-factor authentication. Now, that two-factor authentication can be broken. It can also, as the pictures, as I said, the Hollywood leak of pictures of Jennifer Lawrence and all proved that sometimes two-factor authentication isn't enough until it is actually specifically asked for. And many people, because they choose convenience over privacy, they disable two-factor authentication because, you know, who's going to wait for an SMS? That way, you have to praise the Reserve Bank of India, which has forced two-factor authentication on all credit card transactions. So therefore, if I use my credit card online, I have to either enter a one-time password or I have a digital password which I have to enter.
Right.
So nobody can misuse your credit card by just giving your credit card number and the CVV number.
So that's one solution. You say that that's a solution
Yes.
that people should be aware of.
I beg to differ here.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there are a lot of cases where even mobile phones are not safe. If you're getting an OTP on the phone, for instance, there have been reported cases where even duplicate SIMs have been issued, if you remember. And the OTP would be probably sent on that number. Because the number belongs to the...
So what do you do then? When in that kind of a scenario, what do you do?
That's what we need tighter security.
I think
Whenever
that
there is
is the
issue of a
situation.
duplicate SIM, for instance, there have to be tighter security parameters. The identification of the person, the photograph, everything should be checked.
Kushan, you're saying something?
I think over there, that is a very criminal act where somebody's actively done something wrong. That is not just hacking.
But one thing we have to understand, no application is free. When we are downloading any free songs, any free application, something is there behind which is creating nuisance into your phone. And they are compromising your contact, they are compromising your email IDs, they are compromising your password, and they are compromising a lot of things, even your photographs, even your personal SMSs. In one of the Truecaller application, you are putting a very special name for your wife, and when the Truecaller you are downloading, your name is going with your number. What will happen? Your neighbor will be able to download that Truecaller, and he will be calling then the honey, darling.
So what do you do? Because I'm trying to figure out
What
the
I will
solution.
say-
The job, I think, see that, as he said, that there is lots of thing which is yet to be done from the awareness point of view. When you get a friendship request, what do? You just check that whether this person is a friend of some of my friends. That's
Right.
all. This is
Right.
the only check that we do. Do we actually do some investigation of that person? He might be pretending that person, but he is actually not that person. And then you are accepting that request. But once you accept that request, what you are doing? You are allowing him to access your friends. Because now you have referred him.
You know, now
know him.
that
I think
takes
the
me-
credibility of
So-
the websites is a very major point. Because how many people really bother to check who is the real owner of a website, for instance? There are floating websites, and this is a major lacuna in our Indian IT system for the time being, that whenever there is a request to register a website, the registrar is not made liable or even has the obligation, mandatory obligation to check who the person is who's registering.
Well, it happened with me, and I'll share this experience. I remember a few weeks back, I was trying to do some research on a particular topic that I wanted to do a program on, and while I went on a site, it said that we have the answer. Before it would have answered that question, it just asked me to send in my email, and I thought that maybe I would get newsletters on my mail from this site. And lo and behold, I realized that on my entire contact list, every person had been sent that question. It just asked me to send in my email, and I thought that maybe I would get newsletters on my mail from this site. And lo and behold, I realized that on my entire contact list, every person had been sent a mail that I have invited them to be a part of that platform, and I had no idea, because suddenly all my friends and everyone who's on my contact list started asking me if I sent some kind of an invitation, and I had not done that. So, your point is that be very careful before you download anything, before you click on that box, I accept. Be very, very careful.
Be very careful.
Yeah,
Kushan,
we
Kushan,
cannot block, as he said, that we cannot put too much restrictions on registrations, because they can register the website at other countries also. They can try it, creating proxy service in other countries, and then they can approach you.
Kushan,
So that is not something which can help you a
Kushan,
lot.
how do I avoid that? How do I avoid that? How do I reduce the possibility of being fooled?
You can't ever reduce the possibility of being fooled. If somebody is determined to fool you, Bhupen. In fact, I wanted to bring up the point that people have to be careful about the people they add as
connection very soon, where the rural people will come. And in regards to the certain, I will really appreciate the effort of our Honorable Minister Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji. Recently he held the meeting. He was very much concerned about the security, and he has very categorically advised to the certain that we have to do a lot of things.
No, that's
to
government
save.
speak. That's
There
government
is-
speak.
there is
My
one-
point is that you see, often people don't understand what the government may be trying to do. These are all
Awareness.
noble words.
Awareness.
Therefore, in conclusion, let me ask all of you, starting with you, Amit, if I was to ask you to list one important factor that all our viewers must take away from this program, so that the next time when they are on the internet, when they're in the virtual world, they are reducing the possibility of being hacked or their information being misused?
It's very simple. Every such application which you are using, even Facebook, they offer you the security parameters, mechanism, how you can protect your security. You can create your close-knit friends group. You can create a public group. You should not put everything on public group. So there are such provisions already, but we don't use them because we are not aware of
What about Google Plus, Twitter, and all these other sites?
Everywhere there is security features, and you have to set that security
So you
features.
need to go in the settings bit.
Exactly.
You need to go
And
in the
that requires
settings
lots
bit.
of
You need
awareness.
to get to the security part, and then you need to identify what suits your requirements best.
I will raise one more interesting fact that there are cases where people are stealing your identity. They can create your profile and then they can influence your friends. For example, Mr. Tom Alter, his around 8 to 10 Facebook accounts are there, and he met me and he asked me that, Amit, I don't use Facebook and I have so many followers and people used to come and they say that I have connected you on Facebook and all. So such kind of things are happening.
Karnika, what should be done?
Well,
Tell me one important point
password,
that people should take, not just change password, but also what about the law?
The same password
How do I realize that there is an important feature in the legal statutes which is going to help me?
We can't expect everybody to be a lawyer. However, I feel it is now, because of our huge dependency on the internet, it is, I think, crucial. Like we have in school, we teach